Ever since ancient times, much of Egypt's culture has been rooted in its architecture. Even today, people are amazed at the design, specs, and precision of the Great Pyramids of Giza. The pyramids are an excellent example of ancient Egypt's prestige in construction and design. As anthropogenic climate change and sustainability issues grow in prominence, the need for environmentally conscious solutions is more pressing than ever. Studying both ancient and modern Egyptian architecture reveals multiple benefits, including eliminating inefficient energy usage and reinvesting in established ecosystems. During DePauw University's 2020 January term, 27 students from various majors and backgrounds traveled to Cairo, Egypt to begin implementing Stanford University's design thinking process. The goal is to create a viable solution that addresses a specific community need. First, the groups began by empathizing.
Well, I come from this rural area called Manafea. It's basically like a farming area. Before I came to university, I discovered that most of the buildings that were built in my hometown, they weren't built by professionals or anything, but instead low-class people who had no education. So most of these buildings usually just came tumbling down, which is kind of sad because everyone needs a home to stay in. So that's why I entered architecture, so I could go back there and give them cheap houses at the same time without having to fall down or having any injuries or any deaths occur.
But we didn't stop with empathy. Before we could come up with solutions, we first needed to define a specific problem. The challenge for each group was understanding that the problem being solved may require different solutions than those implemented in the Western world.
We don't use enough sustainable energy. We've been using non-renewable energy over time, and it's starting to affect us. You have unclean oceans, you have animals that are dying by a lot. Literally some animals are about to go extinct. And this is actually sad because imagine when you grow up as a person and you decide to get married and you have a child and an animal ceases to exist, you could actually show a picture to that child, but he'll never see him in real life, which is actually sad.
The next step is ideation, which leads to the development of a prototype. In this case, AUC's campus serves as a prototype for the implementation of environmentally sustainable buildings.
Noticing the direction of wind, the direction of the sun itself and the movement to better suit the building to the environment around it. And the more suited the building is to the environment, the less use of non-renewable energy you have to use. For example, if your building already faces the northern direction, has a good amount of windows and allows a good amount of wind inside, you don't need ventilation except at a cheap cost.
We were amazed by the university's architecture and quickly learned it's not just simply about bricks and concrete. It's designed for the people. Ultimately, people determine how well a design is working through testing. For this challenge, the students at AUC determined the effectiveness and appeal of this sustainable campus.
It's if you're standing outside the university itself on the street and you go inside the campus itself, you'll notice there's a difference of climate. That's because everything else is outside the campus is a desert, and then you have this huge greenery here. Also, we use our own hydraulic systems. The university has the use of water, and it's constant. We don't change the water. It's the same water every time. If we don't care about global warming, we might as well say we don't care about other people as well, because other people do get affected by this.
In DePauw's ever-growing pursuit to improve our campus, we can learn from AUC on how to develop environmentally yet aesthetically pleasing architecture for students, staff, and faculty to enjoy. It's important that we continue to focus on sustainability issues and preserving the environment not only for our sake, but for the future well-being of our beautiful planet.